rap-ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu. And I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and plan to getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
X-ray season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that, hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my own flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on. To the hearse, party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete. I'm a verbal athlete, deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building. My whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
I just want to live. God protect me. I just want to live. I just want to live.
Welcome, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I am your co-host, Trey Holiday. And this week, we are filming live from the Liberty Bank building right here in the heart of the Central District. And we're so glad to have you with us this Monday morning. I do hope that all of you are out there enjoying the amazing sun that's beginning to peek through those clouds this morning. And you know what? This week, you guys, I'm going to be having some guest hosts joining me as we are allowing our guy and my co-host with the most, Big O, to actually get a bit of a break this week. Can you believe it? I can't. So let's get started right away. Thank you for your patience, and thank you to the crew here, everybody pulling it together to make these productions happen on the road. So as always, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors over at the South Seattle Emerald. Thank you guys for your sponsorship and your partnership, and also our radio guys over at 91.3 KBCS over there at Bellevue College. Shout out to all of you guys over there as well. And you guys know that we have given you this information in multitude of ways. Our podcast is one of the ways that you can also catch the Morning Update Show. If you're ever unable to see the broadcast happen live or when we rebroadcast it later on in the day, you guys also have the opportunity to join us on the podcast. You guys can find us on a lot of different platforms: Google, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. You guys can find us anywhere that you find your favorite podcast. And we've been keeping the message alive during this election season. One of the ways that you can constantly make sure you're supporting Black-owned independent media is by copying your very own No Excuses shirt. We have a sweatshirt for you, a hoodie, or you can also get the t-shirt, and make sure that all of these elected officials and those who are campaigning know that you are joining the No Excuses movement. We want to make sure they understand that they're going to be held accountable to the things that they say on the campaign trail. So a great way to support us right here at Converge Media is to go on over to our website, where we converge/shop, and you guys can find the merch there, so you can cop your own No Excuses shirt. You guys know another message we've been keeping alive here and well on the Morning Update show is the opportunity for you to get vaccinated. If you are ready to make sure that you're not somebody who is possibly spreading the Delta variant, we know that over 90% of the folks that are doing so are unvaccinated. So please go check out different ways to get this vaccination through King County. It is happening right here in the city of Seattle as well. They are offering all three different kinds of vaccinations. So you can get Moderna, Pfizer, or you can get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for free. So check out King County Public Health, and you guys can learn more there. Figure out where there's a close proximity to where you live. They're happening all over. And if you cannot leave your house, they will come to your house to make sure that you get vaccinated. So we are keeping that message alive and well as the message around hesitancy, which we know is still out there. But I'm telling you, if you guys are looking for it, it is there for you, and it is free. Do not pay anybody, as Omari always says, for the vaccine. We're also wanting to make sure that we keep a message alive about our Safe Streets survey going on by SDOT right now. For any of you out there that are maybe enjoying these extra seats out there in the streets with these amazing restaurants, make sure that SDOT knows. And if you're a little bit more concerned about the traffic or it taking up space in the streets, make sure SDOT knows. You guys can go to the website there and make sure you guys are filling out that survey so that they hear you loud and clear. At the end of the day, here at Converge, we want to make sure that you guys are getting the opportunity to find the ways to make your voices heard. Everybody is involved in this process. When we talk about making our city better, making our streets better. So please, let's make sure that diversity is included in this survey, and that they hear from a wide variety of you out there that either like these cafes on the streets or that have an issue with these cafes because maybe it's backing up your commute. So we want to make sure we hear from you guys over there at SDOT. This is one of my favorite campaigns we have going on right now. You guys, we are still looking to make sure.
Unbelievable, man. He's the best player in the world. I'm glad he's on my side. And going into a game 7, you want the best player in the world on your side.
The backyard got mountains in it. I do not move until my accountant finish. Big mason jars, each one an ounce.
Yes, absolutely, you guys. Follow walk.into.the.light right there on Instagram, so you guys can be a part of this campaign to get Jake over the benchmark of 10,000. I think he's sitting almost around 9,300 right now. We got some work to do to get him over there, and share it with your friends. It's a really fun campaign, but it's also supporting our guy, Jake, to make sure that he knows that we care about all the work he's putting in out there. He's got a lot of amazing, great photos and great videos for you guys. So please make sure you guys are following our guy, Jake Gradbrod. I actually have a clip here. We had an amazing week last week for all of you out there that, follow this show, that love the Morning Update show. Last week at the Paramount was huge for us over here at Converge. And, I know Omari and I, we really on Friday, we just was like, wow, we can't believe we were actually on the marquee, that we were able to work with the Seattle Theater Group to be there in that iconic space. And we had some great guests lined up last week. One of our guests was Larry Gossett, former council member for King County, who was talking to us about the importance of naming a bridge right here in our city after the John Lewis.
We are going to push that this very important bridge that links our transportation system, Sound Transit, with the bus system. It's a bike trail out in North Sea Island. It's named after John Lewis, particularly during this time where his call right before he died for people to pay homage to getting in good trouble, trouble that you get in, aimed at making our community a better place to live, like his work around voting rights in this country that is being trampled on and challenged right now. Nothing is more important than us garnering and generating community support of Councilmember Juarez's effort to get this this bridge built and to honor John Lewis by naming it after him. It also inspires, like the previous program, Black youth in our community to see that there are structures in our city named after African Americans that contributed to make the community in the world a better place for all to live.
Yes, absolutely. This is why it's so important that you guys, again, make your voices heard. They are doing the vote on the naming of this bridge today, later in the afternoon. Go on over to seattle.gov and figure out how you can be a part of the public comment so that they hear from us here in the city. We want to make sure that we get this done. I think that what Councilmember Gossett said there is so important in terms of young Black Americans being able to acknowledge such a legacy as John Lewis, that we can actually have our own bridge named after him. For those of you that know of John Lewis's legacy, you know that the Montgomery March and him being on that bridge is iconic in terms of how so many Black Americans stood up for their civil rights during the civil rights era. Let's make sure that Seattle City Council understands that there is probably a wide range of support for Councilmember Juarez's effort to get this bridge named after John Lewis. So please, again, another opportunity to make your voices heard. Go on over to seattle.gov and make sure that you guys are signing up for public comment so that you can be a part of this iconic naming of a bridge right here in our city. Here at Converge, we're also really excited. I mean, this Saturday, we have an amazing opportunity to bring another Community Voices effort to our studio. And we got SABJ, who are going to be right there in the studio doing a tribute to the Connie Thompson. And when we talk about, the legacies that we stand on here at Converge as Black independent media, so much of it is about those pioneers in major media who have paved the way, really blazed trails in their own right to make sure that there was diversity seen in major media. And Connie Thompson is another great example of that. So we are so excited that Jesse will be able to interview Miss Connie Thompson, talk about the legacy, and really do a full-on tribute to all that she has given in major media. So that's going to be happening this Saturday. You guys will learn more as we continue to make sure we bring that message to you guys throughout this week. It's an amazing fundraising effort by SABJ, Seattle Association of Black Journalists. So you guys, it's $10 a ticket, right? It's a great way to support such an amazing foundation that is, again, giving to a scholarship for a young Black student out there who's looking to become a journalist and join us in telling the stories of their community from a different lens. Like, this is important, you guys. So please, feel free to join that effort. Get your $10 ticket for this amazing event. And we're just excited that we get to be a part of it as it's going to be filmed in our studio. You guys, I got through a lot of that. I'm excited. This entire show today is really dedicated to an amazing lineup of guests that we have coming up. We told you guys we're going to stay very intentional and on message when it comes to this $160 million renovation project happening at Rainier Beach High School. And we were not playing a game with you. We started out there at Rainier Beach on location. And today we have a lineup of guests who are going to be talking about the electrical opportunities through this project. So we have Jeret Garcia, who is the CEO of Valley Electric. He'll be joining me up after this short break. We're also got to make sure we keep plugging the opportunity for you guys to be engaged. They've been talking about how intentional they're being as a development group to make sure that community voices are heard throughout this project. So this Thursday, there's another opportunity for you guys to join in on the effort. Learn more about the electrical pathways that are going to be taking place during this renovation project. And I'm excited to be able to dive in with Jeret Garcia after the break. And later on in the show, we have a former electrical intern, Jonathan White, will also be joining us to talk about his experience as an electrical intern and how excited he is about this project. And one of our last guests today is Patrick McGlothlin, project manager of Lydig Construction, who we did have the last time that we did an update around this project. So we want to check in with Patrick, see how things have been going over that last month, and understand a little bit more about these pathways in electrical. So stay tuned, you guys, after this short break. Joining me afterwards is Mr. Jeret Garcia. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't miss my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Market Street Shoes, slinging kicks since 2006, with styles that support you and yours, getting the F outside or staying comfy when you just want to lounge indoors as well. But wait, Market Street Shoes is way more than just a shoe store. Gear up for your next outdoor adventure with apparel and accessories that'll have you looking good on the streets, the trail, or even in your own backyard. With locations in Ballard, Redmond, and online at marketstreetshoes.com, there's undoubtedly a style and size that'll fit your lifestyle.
Hey Seattle, if you're trying to find something to do this summer, I got the perfect thing for you. Come on down to Seattle Waterfront's Pier 62 and enjoy free, yes free, family-friendly events all summer long, like art, dance, music, storytelling, and if you're trying to get that body right before the summer is over, you might as well join their free yoga and fitness classes. Head on over to Waterfront Park Seattle for a full summer schedule of vibes you don't want to miss.
We're on? Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday. And I guess I get to be the host this week because our guy, Big O, is out taking some much-needed rest. We appreciate that, Big O. You deserve it. And joining me today, right now, as we said, is Mr. Jeret Garcia, CEO of Valley Electric. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, we're excited because this is a major project for community, and we want to make sure that we keep our audience engaged in the process as it unfolds. Tell us a little bit about some of the opportunities with this project, particularly in the electrical field.
Well, it's a good sized project electrically, a little over $20 million probably. We will employ in the field on the job probably 30 people. And then back in the office, we'll have another probably 5 or 6. And then on top of that, we will be subbing out or working with the community and our subcontractors. You know, we'll be subbing out a substantial amount, probably about 30% of the work.
Wow. And so what type of jobs are actually available on this project, and how much is the pay? You know, we got to ask.
Yeah. Well, so there's apprentices, there'll be some material handlers, there'll be electricians, there'll be foremen, and those are probably the main jobs that'll be on site. And then we have project managers, we have project engineers, would be the other what I would say, employment opportunities.
And the pay?
The pay, electrician makes $88 an hour currently.
Wow.
If they're a foreman, they're making that plus 10%, and if they're apprentice, apprenticeship's a 5-year program, so they'll make, they'll start off at, say a 40%, and then, 50, and then, progress up to a journeyman.
Wow. And so it sounds like this is a really direct pathway. What do you do as CEO? I mean, we want to learn a little bit more about you, because for us, a lot of this work, and we've been talking about this in terms of this project, we don't want it to be transactional, right? And I think that a lot of you guys involved in this project are being intentional to include the community into this. But let's learn a little bit about Jeret Garcia himself.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go back just real quick what you said. What we're doing on this project from a community and from an outreach is intentional, not for this project. This is something that, I'm also involved in starting up Construct Diversity. So as an example, we've been working, and I've had 14 interns from Rainier Beach over the last year, where we bring them into our office. These are students at the school. You'll meet one today in Jonathan, and he works for us full time now. But over the last year, we'll bring in students, and they'll come and they'll sit in Valley for 2 hours a day for a week, for 4 weeks, and learn every aspect of Valley. They'll be in accounting, they'll be with our virtual construction, our estimating, our shop, and we're trying to give them a wide range of technical knowledge just to look at and see what's out there. And then they'll go from us to, say, another type of business, a electric supply house or a general contractor. And we go through these 14 businesses to give those students just an opportunity to see what's out there. And then at the end of the year in the program, then each of those that make it through there, I think last year we gave them each $15,000 as a scholarship. If they went to college, if they went into the trades, I think it was $10,000 towards their trade and towards, clothes and boots and tools and that kind of thing. And then we offer them internships, so that if they go to college or if they're in the field, we help them go on, from there and beyond. Along with that, we do resumes, show them how to do resumes. We hook them up with a financial advisor who helps them, because we pay them for this internship even while they're in high school. Those 2 hours they come, we pay them, and they put that into financial planning at the end of the semester, and they get to learn how to manage that. And but we do things like that. I mean, it is something that we're not just doing for this job. This is something that we as Valley have been doing for the last 12 years.
Wow.
To try and get more involvement of minorities in the electrical industry. Because there's a ton of opportunities, and nobody really knows, they just think, oh, it's electrical construction, it's just a labor job. Well, shoot, we're a technology company, basically. And so as a minority, I'm looking, I want more Hispanics, African Americans in our industry, because there just isn't. I mean, if I went down to UW today and went into the construction management, there's probably one. There's probably one person of color in there, and that's it. And we had them as intern the last 2 years because I know I went down there and did it. And so there needs to be some intentionality. It needs to be intentful.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing that, then we're not going to get people into our trade.
Well, that just brings me back to my question about you, because clearly, this is something that you're passionate about, and you're saying, look, you probably didn't have this kind of opportunity when you were coming up. Talk a little bit about your beginnings.
I didn't. I mean, my dad was an electrician. I mean, I grew up in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, in, pretty rough areas. For me, I mean, I ran in gangs. I've been blown up. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. And the only way I was going to get, when I got out of high school, I didn't really have any opportunities. My mom needed someone to help support her. I went out and got 2 jobs. I went out, worked as an electrician, as a non-union, not in the apprenticeship, but just in the field. And I cleaned buildings at night. And luckily somebody gave me an opportunity from a big company, and brought me in, and I was the only Hispanic that worked for them. And we did work throughout the United States. I mean, it was so bad that, I wouldn't tell people my last name. If I called them, this was before emails and cell phones. So if I called them, I'd say, hey, this is Jeret. I wouldn't use my last name because I knew if I did that, I wouldn't get the opportunity that I thought I deserved. So yeah, I mean, I grew up doing that. I got an opportunity. I traveled the United States, worked, doing big jobs, worked my way up to be a vice president of that company. And then one day I just kind of decided I want to move to Seattle. And so I moved up here, and I started at the bottom again with the company I'm at. And so,
wow.
And I grew to obviously own and run it. So.
And how long have you been at Valley Electric?
I've been 20 years.
Wow, 20 years. So when we talk about the longevity of these jobs, it's there. It's there for young folks to kind of get in the high school level, understand it through the way that you guys have developed these partnerships with those 14 partners, so that they can see what's available. And then you're actually helping them throughout the entire process, so that they can get, because for us, it's about livable wage income, at the end of the day. And we know that, that's where it really begins to bring that bridge for young people, as you had for yourself. When we talk about, well, how do we, close this, huge uptick in gun violence, right? We know it's because they need to see, what does it look like for me to actually make money in a legitimate way, not have to pick up a gun, not have to be involved in things that get me to pick up guns or think that that's my only option. So I love how you just laid that out, because I know for me and for us here at Converge, that's really an important message that we want to bring in. I know we talked about it when we first, had this update with the Rainier Beach development team on this project, but I love how you're saying it's not just about this project. This is something that you guys are doing, and you're being intentional about it. What are some of the things that really excite you about the opportunities for this particular project?
For this particular project, besides building a nice school for a community that really needs an upgrade in their school, besides that, it's a chance for us just to bring in more and have more visibility in that community, in that neighborhood, to show that, if you give, if I give, not, how do I want to say this? I'm here to give everybody an opportunity. I'm not here to give them a hand up. I'm gonna give them an opportunity. And if they take it and embrace that opportunity, we will help them grow from being, from entry level to eventually, the goal should be for them to do what I'm doing, to be honest with you. The goal should be, if that's what they want to do, to come in, work your way up to where you go out and then you become an owner and operator of a company.
Yeah.
And we do that. I've got 6 of them right now that we are currently mentoring, that are people of color or females that, worked for Valley, came up through Valley, and now they're owning and operating their own business. And we stay with them and help them. We stay with them. We don't finance them because we can't do that with the state and in King County, but we can definitely help them with, making sure they're getting paid on time or paid early, so that their cash flow is good. We help them with buying out materials and knowing what the right pricing is for materials. We help them with labor. We help them with accounting. We help them with the technology standpoint. We go out and spend a lot of, as a bigger company, and we, sometimes we employ 1,500 people. So we are a bigger company, but we have the ability to go out and do and all this technology, do research and figure out what works, what doesn't work. And there's no sense in them having to go through that same step when we can tell them this is what's working today, without them going out and putting out a bunch of capital. And so our job is to help them grow into being, a valley eventually. And that should be the goal.
Yeah, I you know what? The cannabis industry can learn a lot from you right now and what you're doing. I mean, literally, because I think, you said it earlier, and we've been talking about that word intentionality, and that's really what it means and what it looks like. Earlier, you did say, because I know that there are some Black contractors out there that have electrical companies. You were talking about some of the opportunities for them as well to be involved in this project. Explain a little bit more about what it looks like for that subcontractor opportunity, somebody who maybe did come up and they're looking to be involved in this redevelopment.
We have a couple, we have UB from XL Electric, who's it's a Black minority-owned company, and he's been around for 30 years. But this is a chance for him to, do something bigger, a little bit different than what he is doing. We're looking, and there's just few of them. There's so few of them, to be honest with you. I mean, there's just so few of them. So if one comes in, we're going to get them the opportunity. We're going to help them get to where, they don't have to be the low dollar, but they got the best value, so that they can, come in and take part of the project.
Yeah, well, so it sounds like this Thursday, there's going to be a community engagement session where they can really learn about these opportunities. What are some of the things that you guys are going to be sharing on Thursday to make sure that the community is engaged in this specifically electrical side of the project?
So for Thursday, we're going to start, will be the first one that we've had electrically. So we'll talk about Valley. We'll talk about what Valley can help them provide them. We'll talk about the opportunities on the job as far as from a field standpoint and from, getting the work done, and then just the subcontracting opportunities. Then we're going to explain that it's a year away because we're still not going to be doing anything a year from now. But this will give us a chance to just start the conversation so that we can, be more involved in the community and get more feedback from the community on what, we can do to help them be ready in a year.
Wow.
And there is, there's other, I did talk about just, the personnel that we would hire, but, we're always needing photographers. So, if there's, there's a ton of different opportunities from businesses, as far as, photography, there's t-shirts, there's, whatever we got to get made up from safety equipment. And so we'll be looking for people to come to us and say, hey, here's what services I provide. And then we'll look at, making sure that if we buy something for that job, we are getting it from the community member who provides that service.
It's a great, great outlook. And Jeret, I'm just so glad that you were here on the Morning Update Show to give us your perspective on not just this project, but also Valley Electric, because it sounds like you guys and your intentionality is just what a lot of folks need. We talk about not a handout, but a hand up. And that's really what it sounds like you guys are providing. So thank you so much for joining us today and diving in. That was amazing.
And one thing I do want to say is anybody, if you can call me anytime, just call the office, look for me. If you want an opportunity, just give me a holler, because what we need people who come to us with interest.
Yeah.
We'll go door to door, but it's a lot easier if someone comes to us and say, hey, look, I'm interested in learning more about this.
Yeah, right on. Well, look, you guys are hearing it from Jeret right here himself. Their doors are open. They want to make sure that they're hearing from community members. And we know that this Rainier Beach renovation is being very intentional as they are doing this. And he said it's still a year out before the work is done, but they are out there making sure that y'all know about this opportunity. And you heard it from Jeret himself. If you're a photographer, you have a photography business, if you do t-shirts, they're looking for y'all. They need these things. If you're involved in safety equipment, make sure that Jeret is hearing from you so that you guys can be involved in this amazing redevelopment project happening at Rainier Beach High School. Thank you again, Jeret. So appreciate it. You guys, stay tuned. Coming up after this short break, I am bringing on an electrical intern who is now full-time with Valley Electric, John Nathan White. He'll be sharing a little bit about his experience through that process that Jeret just laid out for us. So stay tuned after this short break. You guys are watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey, it's me, downtown Seattle, C-Town. Wish you were here. Here to explore inside, outside, and everywhere in between. Where it's easy to get my good side. Here, where my rooftops invite you to come early and stay late. Where every view is a postcard, and each night out might be your best night ever. See you soon. Love, C-Town.
Hey Seattle, if you're trying to find something to do this summer, I got the perfect thing for you. Come on down to Seattle Waterfront's Pier 62 and enjoy free, yes free, family-friendly events all summer long, like art, dance, music, storytelling. And if you're trying to get that body right before the summer is over, you might as well join their free yoga and fitness classes. Head on over to Waterfront Park Seattle for a full summer schedule of vibes you don't want to miss.
Market Street Shoes, slinging kicks since 2006 with styles that support you and yours, getting the F outside or staying comfy when you just want to lounge indoors as well. But wait, Market Street Shoes is way more than just a shoe store. Gear up for your next outdoor adventure with apparel and accessories that'll have you looking good on the streets, the trail, or even in your own backyard. With locations in Ballard, Redmond, and online at marketstreetshoes.com, there's undoubtedly a style and size that'll fit your lifestyle.
Three, two, one.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I am your host for the week, Trey Holiday, as our guy, Big O, is taking a much-needed break. And I'm so excited because you guys can see that, with this project of redevelopment at Rainier Beach High School, there's really the key word is intentionality. So I'm really thankful that we had Jeret on, and now we get to talk to Jonathan White, who was a former apprentice and now full-time over at Valley Electric. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Grand Rising. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, Jeret laid out just such a solid foundation of what it is they're doing. And so he talked about bringing high schoolers in at the high school level, going through this entire process, trying to get you guys on these jobs. Let's hear a little bit about your experience in the apprenticeship program.
So I actually just graduated high school. I've been with Valley for 6 months. I started while I was in high school. And one of the programs that helped me get introduced to Valley was called Construct Diversity. And me and my brother, my younger brother, who are both a part of it, have been able to reach out to these different construction companies and able to learn about them, go inside of them, learn every aspect, and then go ahead and see if we want to intern with them, see if we want to maybe go even further with it. And for me, I automatically was like, yes. I met Valley and we talked. And the first day he was like, please come work for us. And I was like, yeah, most definitely. Please let me in. This is something I actually want to do. Because at the time I was like, I'm going to go to college, but what do I don't even know what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And this definitely has helped me a lot in just learning so much about them and then just working for them. And right now I'm in the prefab shop making panels, devices, wiring stuff, even dealing with pipes, bending pipes, putting them underground, going out to the field sometimes and learning a little bit more from the other guys, foremans, guys that's been there for 30 years. It's crazy. It's an experience that I'm pretty sure nobody has ever had like that. That's in my position, or a person of color is something that I would think every person needs.
You know what? You're really inspiring me right now. I gotta say, because me and O, we talk about this all the time. The youth are the truth, and yes. When we can see, like I see this spark in your eyes, where you're like, you're excited to be there. Talk a little bit about the things that are exciting you the most throughout this opportunity.
I would say being able to talk to and have a relationship with the presidents and vice presidents and CEOs of this company, and just being able to just work on so many things on so many levels. And then on top of that, I mean, at first I was going to go through the apprenticeship program for Valley and, really start working for them. But getting an offer to go to college and on full ride, it was like, take the offer, but still yet, make sure I have that connection with Valley and working with them still to this day.
Wow. So you got a lot on your plate then.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to college and you're working for Valley.
Yes.
So you were able to go through that experience as a high schooler, understand some of these opportunities in this field, and then also go to college so that you can further your education in this regard. But it sounds like you know where your home is going to be too throughout this process. As Jeret was saying, they are, being super engaged throughout the entire process.
Right.
And he said sometimes they got 1,500. So you're telling me you don't feel like you get lost in the shuffle?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, you feel every now and then being a part of this company, you don't feel no person of law. You don't feel lost. You don't feel like you're alone. I mean, even the CEO, Jeret, he comes in and checks on me every now and then, making sure, do you need anything? Do you need this? Do you need that? And it's like, no, I'm fine. But there's always that open spot. He's letting me know.
When I talk to youth in particular, I always love to bring it to the real, right? And you're a young Black man out here, and we know that there are lots of young Black men that do get kind of lost in the shuffle of life, right? And when we talk about this rise of gun violence and, you possibly knowing some of those cats are being 6 stones away from them because maybe you went to school with somebody or, you hear about these kind of things. How do you feel like you, in terms of being an inspiration to others, all of our audience being able to see you right now and understand a little bit about your story, your upbringing, and how you got to this place? What are some of the things that really encourage you in terms of being that inspiring look to another young Black man who's like, what, John Nathan's doing it, maybe I can too?
Of course, I'm the oldest brother out of all 3 of my brothers. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to make sure, they can see a role model, not only my father, but also me. And see that, okay, my father's doing this, my older brother is doing this, how come I can't do this? And I think the problem within our community as young Black males and young Black females is the fact that we don't get told how great we are. That's one thing I say my parents do all the time. They tell me how great I am. They tell me when I make my falls, when I make mistakes, but they also tell me, you're great. You can do anything you want to. And for anybody out here in this community, I'm letting you know right now, we're all great. And we should be able to be great.
Amazing, John Nathan. I'm excited for you and your pathway forward. So I have a question for you, because this project is huge. It's huge for our community. Clearly Valley Electric is being very purposeful in their approach to include community in this. What are some of the things that excite you about this project, man, and getting Rainier Beach High School renovated?
I'm an alumni there. I just graduated from there, so it's like, I come back to the school. I'm still coming back to it, working on it. Even in this company, I have probably the most knowledge of the school. So these guys that, know more about the electrical business than me is like, yo, can you tell me what's going on with this school? What's the inside? What's this going to be like? And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's cool. It makes me feel like, I'm up there with them. And just doing that is cool to me. And not only that, being a part of the project is as a guy a young Black male that's 18, it feels like I'm already doing something for my community. That's a huge impact, and that's something I've always wanted to do. And I didn't think, I'd be doing this at such a young age, but it's like, it's happening. Okay, keep it pushing. What's next?
Yeah, it's happening. I know that when we first talked to the team, we said it's so important to center what y'all want to see in the building, especially those of y'all who are alumni, was there all those years, and you saw the creaks and the cracks, and you saw the opportunities, really, is what it is. You saw the opportunity. So I'm so glad that they're coming to you, because they know that you're an expert in the building. They know that you're an expert in the space. And you are 100% correct when you talk about being there to be a part of this amazing renovation project and giving back to your community in this way. But you're doing it in a very smart way, because you're going to get paid for it.
Right.
You've been getting paid, and now you're with Valley Electric and also going to school. So kudos to you, John Nathan, for being an amazing example and an amazing inspiration, not just to your young brothers, but also to those out there in the community that can see you, those that go to Rainier Beach now that are like, man, I remember John Nathan, you know, he was here, you know what I'm saying? Now he's working on the building. I think it's such an inspiring story. So kudos to you. And I just want to give you last words here. You know, give your family a shout out. I know that they are so proud of you right now. I can only imagine if I was your mother, how proud I would be to hear you speak so eloquently about your experience with Valley Electric, about your experience on this project, and as an alumni of Rainier Beach High. Give your shout outs right now, John.
Shout out to my mom and my dad who have helped me throughout my whole process as a young child and turning into this young man. Shout out to my brothers who've also been a part of this process. Shout out to just my everybody else who's helped me. My teachers, just everybody who's been there, a part of my process, starting from at a young age to a young man. Shout out to my football coaches that helped me. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you, mom and dad, especially. Thank you.
Oh, John Nathan White. What an amazing example. Thank you so much for joining me on the Morning Update Show
today. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You guys already know. I'm already going to say it now, and I'm going to say it again at the end. John Nathan is seeing himself as part of the solution, baby. I love it because that's what makes us better when we actually get ourselves involved and engaged. Clearly, Valley Electric is being very intentional, again, about how they are approaching this, not just this project, but their company. And John Nathan is a prime example of that. So I'm very excited that he was here with us. You guys, we have another short break, and joining me afterwards is Patrick McGlothlin, who is actually with Lydig Construction. We're going to be doing an update with Patrick. Last time we kind of had him in the hot seat, wanted to know how this project was going to make sure that they are listening to community. Sounds like they're doing an amazing job thus far, and we're going to continue to stay on them to make sure that that job continues. Stay tuned after this short break, you guys. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, it's Besa Gordon from Converge Media. You can catch me on my show Rewind with Besa, which airs every other Saturday at 2 p.m. anywhere you watch Converge Media. Now, I know a lot of us still have questions about the COVID-19 vaccine. However, here are a couple things you don't have to question. Everyone 12 years and older in Washington State are now eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. It's free, and you don't even need insurance or citizenship status to get vaccinated. If you still have questions, and I know you probably do, you can visit kingcounty.gov/COVID for additional information. You can also call the King County COVID-19 call center at 206-477-3977 to get COVID-19 and the vaccination questions answered, get translation services if needed, set up an in-home vaccination appointment for yourself or someone you know may not be comfortable at a vaccination site due to a disability, anxiety, or other reasons. Look, with summer being here, now is the time to get all your COVID-19 vaccination questions answered so we can all get out the house and live our best lives again.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your host for the week, Trey Holiday, and joining me right now is Patrick McGlothlin, who is with Lydig Construction. Man, Patrick, man, we've been learning so much about this project. I promise you, I've only learned this much about any project that I was immediately involved with, like intimately involved in. But you guys are continuing on your efforts. What are some of the updates you have for us in terms of this redevelopment at Rainier Beach?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest is what you've heard today. The not getting too nerdy in the construction details, but most of what we do has to be hard bid out. But the RCW gives us 2 exceptions for that with our electrical and mechanical partners. So since the last time we talked, we finalized a process to select the electrical partner with Valley Electric, which gave us the opportunity to prioritize the WIMBY and our workforce inclusion efforts as part of that partner selection process. that we wouldn't have if we just bid that scope of work. So that's a major update. And hearing Jonathan is, I mean, that's why we're here, right? That's the work we're doing. It's awesome to hear him, and just keep doing that for the next 4 years, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is huge. We've been talking about the impact that this project really has on community. And I think it's so important and it's so key to identify those areas. And so for you guys to actually partner with Valley Electric, and they've been doing this kind of community-based style work, bringing young folks into their work for over 12 years, that says a lot about that. What was that process like for you guys in terms of determining that they would be the partners on the electrical for this project?
Yeah, it's a 3-step process that the RCW dictates to us. But the first step is a written qualification. So they kind of submit, this is our team, this is our plan. And that's the great opportunity we're able to prioritize in the scoring process. This portion is really important. And back to that intentionality, we revise the scoring in a way that we've never done in the past to really emphasize those inclusion efforts as a significant portion of how you get selected. You've got to be, a school builder. You've got to have the resume and experience. But this WIMBY and inclusion work is equally as important as all those other pieces. So that's really, we're able to prioritize that in the RFP process. Then there's an interview process where it's like, okay, we like your plan, but now convince us that you're going to follow through with that plan that you put on paper. And Valley did a great job with that step. Then there's a third process of basically a bid on their fee for the project. And with Valley Electric, they were low on that as well. And so they just kind of had a slam dunk in all 3 steps. So it was a great process.
Wow. That's where we get into the logistics of it all. Right. And I know that, when we had you on last, we talked a lot about your diversity efforts. How does partnering with Valley Electric get you closer to those diversity efforts?
Yeah, it's huge to be able to have a partner like that and count on them. Like I said, when you're in a bid process, you can't really count on who your partner is going to be, and you can't be here like we are today, a year ahead of the project, putting the work in. And to hear Jeret talk as the CEO of the company and hear him back up those efforts and that commitment, that's huge in a way that you just don't have that ability to do, with the hard bid process. So it really just kind of lays the groundwork for us to on Thursday night at our outreach event. We're going to have them back. The union will be there and really try to dive into both any WIMBY business interests, but also the workforce. What does it really look like to get into the electrical trade? With the union there as a partner, with Valley there as a partner who's going to hire the person as the actual employer, and having that partnership is huge. And we just wouldn't have that without that selection process.
Well, that really brings me to my next question for you, because, I wanted to get an update. I mean, the last time we had you on, you guys were having another community engagement session happening that Thursday of that week. How has it been going in terms of, getting some of that community feedback and getting community members engaged in this development project?
I would say it's been going well. We've met every month since, I think, March so far, and we'll continue that through the end of the project. We need more, though. I mean, that's the real story. And I think why we continue to really want to try to get the word out is, you heard about opportunities. And I think, our role here is to educate on those opportunities out there. And every time we've given the exposure to those opportunities, people are taking advantage of them. But we really just need to really continue that growth and that connection with the community. And we really just like to see more people that are interested. Whether it's carpentry, that's who Lydig's signatory to, and the laborers, the electrical trade. We have mechanical partners out on board now. So whatever you're interested in, come talk to us, and we'll figure out how to make those connections and get those opportunities aligned.
Well, I think, too, kind of before I let you go, I think it's important, Jeret talked a lot about some of the opportunities and what they'll be doing on the building. From your perspective, because sometimes people think, it's just wiring the building, all they have is this and that. But what are some of the actual jobs that Valley Electric will be responsible for on this project?
Yeah, so they have, the entire electrical scope. So we'll be, bringing the main power service from the street into the building. And that's a scope they've identified as a potential partnership with Excel Electric, with UB that he mentioned. There's going to be a fire alarm system. So, there's potential to break a scope out for the fire alarm portion, or doing the conduit installation for a wing of the building, if that's the right size scope for a WIMBY business. There's going to be security system work, audio-visual work, just line voltage, power, electricity, right? Just all kinds of electrical systems. All that falls under Valley's scope. And then that's what they're working with us to kind of figure out how we can maximize participation with all those scopes.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot going on. And when we talk about the magnitude of a $160 million project and expanding over all, those 4 years, like you were talking about, there's a lot going on there. So again, give people the details for this Thursday if they want to make sure that their voices are a part of this or that their questions are answered. It sounds like it's an awesome opportunity for folks to kind of get in on the ground floor right now.
Yeah. So it's the second Thursday of every month at 6 p.m. Hosting outreach events, and we have rotating topics, but we're there every Thursday. So if you go to buildthebeachforusbyus.com, you can register to the monthly event. So this month is focused on the electrical trades. Coming up, we'll have another WIMBY outreach event. We'll also have there's a big milestone in the design process coming up. So we'll update the community on that in a future meeting. But I think more importantly on that website too, if we're not talking this week about what you're interested in, there's the links to contact us and we can get in contact. You don't have to wait for the meeting. Kind of like Jeret said, my contact information is right up there, and reach out anytime. And whether you're a business we can help support or somebody looking to get in the trades, or and I think Jeret really hit a great point: photography, food trucks, office supplies, any business that our project or our company support, we want to hear from those businesses.
Amazing. Yeah. Let's expand that scope. And that's kind of what I wanted to get to, because I know that there's so many different opportunities when you're thinking about a construction site. Y'all also got to eat too. So I love that, right? So thank you so much, Patrick, for coming back on today and making sure that you guys are staying committed to this engagement process with community. And I'm glad that Converge can be a part of that outreach effort. And, really, this is huge for us. And so I thank you for your transparency, and thank you for being here to make sure that folks know what's going on with Lydig and what's going on with the Rainier Beach renovation.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me back, and we'll be back more.
Absolutely.
More updates to come.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, we got all the updates going on right now. And as Jeret said, if you guys are interested, make sure you go to buildthebeachforusbyus.com. You guys can learn all about the engagement efforts there. This Thursday at 6 p.m., you have an opportunity to make sure that your voices is heard and that your questions are answered. If you're looking to get into the electrical trades, if you just have questions about what it looks like, please join this meeting so that you guys can be a part of this amazing process. I'm going to close the show out after this short break, so stay with us, you guys. You guys are watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey, Seattle, if you're trying to find something to do this summer, I got the perfect thing for you. Come on down to Seattle Waterfront's Pier 62 and enjoy free, yes, free, family-friendly events all summer long, like art, dance, music, storytelling. And if you're trying to get that body right before the summer is over, you might as well join their free yoga and fitness classes. Head on over to Waterfront Park Seattle for a full summer schedule of vibes you don't want to miss.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your host this week, Trey Holiday. And that was an amazing update by everyone over there at the Rainier Beach development effort. And it's amazing how much they're being so intentional to engage community and to make sure you guys are engaged, informed, and uplifted, because there's so much opportunity. And this is important that we maximize Black contractor participation. You heard about all of the wide-ranging ways to do so. We want to end on an amazing note. Again, paying homage to our week last week at the Paramount Theater. You guys, we were able to bring on Northwest Tap. Here's a little bit if you missed it. Want to make sure you guys see this amazing performance.
2, 1. Hello, my name is Cypher Goings. I am artistically known as Cypher Divine. I am a part of the Youth Tap Ensemble and an instructor at Northwest Tap Connection. And today we will be performing a piece that I choreographed titled The Payback. Please welcome Northwest Tap.
Oh my gosh, what an amazing show today, and what an amazing performance by Northwest Tap Connection, choreographed by the very Cypher. I mean, you guys, I'm sorry. I love that. And one of the things I really love about our episode today is that we're right here in the iconic Liberty Bank building talking about another redevelopment project that is being just as intentional as we were right here to build this building. When we talk about maximizing Black contractor participation, ensuring that community is engaged at every phase of the process, that is something that Liberty Bank Building represented so well. And I'm so thankful that as a city, we are learning from shining examples like this and creating more and more of them. We have some amazing examples coming up in our community, and this Rainier Beach development project is another one. So I hope you guys were as inspired as I was by Jeret Garcia, John Nathan White, and Patrick McGlothlin, that are being very intentional about how they are engaging with community for Rainier Beach Development Project. You guys, we have an amazing lineup this week. I will be the host all week, and I'll have some folks joining me throughout the week. So excited to be bringing more voices onto the set with me right here for the Morning Update show in the iconic Liberty Bank building. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. And as always, I'm going to say, see yourself as a part of the solution, because it's important. We need those diversity of voices to make sure that we are bettering ourselves every day, every hour. It's going to take all of us to do that. And as my guy, Big O, would say, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m., peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth in heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun.